Encore la magie, et puis il y a des démons. Oh, Marcel, accordé au gros. Yeah, il y a des démons. Si on j'ai été bien, les amis, on est black, on côté. Et pas pour faire des plaies pour des botas à Salo. Et là, vous êtes, il y a bon yawa, tu prends, on dit, mais il y a des manous. Et les captés, oui, oui, oui. N'oublie mon écaillot. Vous savez, il est maillé à Niamey. Mon papa, bon et beau firme. Merci beaucoup. Et là, voyez, voyez. Elle est bien passant, c'est beau. Le très ancien Yves Kané, à Seigneur-Okaï. Le grand frère Oula Michael. Allons seulement. De Wayme. Et la somme, non, de Wayme. Là, c'est maintenant, de Wayme. Nous, ça, on m'a voix de Wayme. Ben, non, tiens, manada, de Wayme. La loi dit maintenant d'abord oui mais j'étais Florent oui des sont des n'y a pas patient de oui on est chichi mon ya oui aucune asia on m'a d'habillé d'accord tout ya mon pédio t'as un blé sont fort le ça est chouin papa mon ya oui que ouais vraiment ni quoi pour force ça Way, yeah, way. You don't know place, so yeah. Casonzia Capua go the way. Bonia Sarva, go the way. The poor Sagi, go the way. Do you want the way?
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Liberia Public Radio. I'm Francis Zayan. So today is the 4th, right? It's the independence of this great nation. We say happy independence to all our viewers, listeners, and followers of the Liberia Public Radio. Very shortly, another edition of 50-50 from our sister network in Liberia gets underway. And welcome Stephen Johnson in the house, T-Tat, and all of you will say happy 4th, right? This is a West, but we are taking you to neighboring and La Côte d'Ivoire. You got to get money to be a politician. You got to get money to get involved and to be respected in society. Without money, there's some sort of limitation to what you want to do. I'm Alfonso Z, and so right here this morning, it's 6:29 Eastern Standard Time from the East Coast of the United States of America.
Fédéral, président Cissé Batlemi, Maïs Fan, président des jeunes du Cuba. Merci beaucoup.
For you who don't understand the Crown language here, bring me money, let me eat something. Let me get a food that get a taste, that get an appetite with salt and pepper. You know, without money, entire people forcibly living a medical condition. It's not that they don't want to do it, but it's because of no money. This is a group from La Côte d'Ivoire. Welcome, I'm Alfonso Zayan. So
wait a minute, come on.
Before you eat, before you drink, is money. Sometimes you don't have money, there's a nightmare on the way. I am Alfonso Z, and so I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you. Okay, welcome. I want to thank you so much. We say happy 4th, and I'm Alfonso Z, and so of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Good morning to Liberia, good morning to USA and the rest of the world. We say happy 4th. It doesn't matter whether you are in US or out of US. US is the gateway, is the white, it's the life wire of all of the countries, right? So when there's some sort of stability here, with some eyes, we get a peace of mind everywhere. And this is why people nerves break down when you see things not going right in this country. You know the impact, no question about that. We'll say good morning and welcome. Today is the 4th, why we're going to go in. In a politician, the aftermath of political activities is what matters, and then the blame game I did it right. You didn't do it right. I told you to go to KOLLAH home to do a campaign to base. There's a station that know you were in Foya, you were drinking power, you were having good time, you were running all around. So now they are pulling it all over the place. That's the commentary. That's a completely is an obituary announcement now. But guess what? Well, the trouble old man who is the host of 50-50, T-Max JLATEH and his folks, very shortly, they're going to be here tonight. We're going to be linking control. Hopefully, maybe we can participate. I wanted to see what Mo Ali and what his name, KOLLAH from the Liberty Party will be saying. Who didn't do what? Who did what? I don't care for that. Those are the usual games of politicians. They always like to undo. Yeah, the secretary, there's two secretary general, two oppositions, the parties, they're going to come. They're going to, hopefully they're going to be in the same studio. Does that mean they iron out everything, or will this low-fast scenario be the learning process? We won't say good morning. We say welcome. Thank you so much. And hopefully, but guess what? On the 4th again, this evening, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 4th celebration continues right here. He left from Liberia. He was sweeping Capitol building. He went to the Temple of Justice. He was sweeping there. Maybe he's trying to bleach the corruption out of Capitol and Temple of Justice. But why only Temple of Justice and Capitol? He didn't stay there. He decided to travel to the United States of America. I'm not sure which airline he came with. Some say Air Morale, some say Lufthansa, some say Delta, some say Brussels, some say Air France. I don't like Air France because they left my suitcases almost 2-3 months ago, no head, no taste. So when Air France is passing the air, I close my eyes. But I don't know how he got here. But he managed to bring the broom. And he's moving from state to state sweeping. A long-time human rights advocate, Councillor Twawont Gonglo, will be facing the microphones of the Liberia Public Radio Freedom White Special Edition. Will be here this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here. Okay, let's see here very short later. We are getting a signal to our guys in Liberia that are on, and so we're going to be going there to him and to them as well. That's T-Max JLATEH and the guests I've seen here. I'm getting the signal they are on. And so we're going to be joining them here very shortly. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Good morning and welcome to the show. It's the 50-50 right here, right now with T-Max JLATEH. T-Max JLATEH is the anchor of the 50-50 program.
And the passion for broadcasting, we are
in Liberia. So very shortly, we're getting the signals, and we're going to be going back. We're going to be going to them, and right after that, the talking point will continue here as well. Stay tuned. Let's see. We will try to get them over here. Soon we get a signal. We're going to get them over here with us. They are already on, and we're going to be breaking in. We'll say good morning and welcome. I mean, good Flomo. Where you coming from? You on vacation or what? What's going on, my son? He's very hard-working gentleman. I think, I don't know what's going on, but everybody deserves time. Amos George, good morning. Our man Susut from Minnesota is a senior contributor to the Liberia Public Radio. We'll be here this evening to sandwich this guy. He's sitting there like a president already. You see your legs, he crossed his leg. He's sitting like a president already. Oh, Lord. I think we need to launch our own presidential bid here too as well, because they think something might be inside. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Let's see here. We're getting the images already here. That's it. That's a 50-50 squad.
Good morning, Monrovia.
Okay, let's go to our man T-Max JLATEH.
This is 50-50 on a Monday morning on Sky 107.1 FM with this topic. Lofa County by-election, what went wrong? What's the next step for the Unity Party that participated vigorously in Lofa County? What went wrong? As the Unity Party, with all the noise, lost what it calls a stronghold, PPP, and they went their separate ways into different factions. I have Mo Ali as the Secretary General of the Unity Party, and we have Martin KOLLAH, who has arrived here from the Musability wing of the Liberty Party. By the level of my lines will be open. So you call me on those numbers in 0777 you be live on 5050 on Sky 107.1 FM. We'll be back right after the theme song.
What excitement! Share the good news now.
My begin child of Cote d'Ivoire day for yesterday, and he still calling me a mama. He still browsing on the
Nothing makes me more.
Okay, there's the 50-50 family right there. They are on the commercial here. So let's do a little bit entertainment here. So Mo Ali and KOLLAH, they are in studio this morning, 50-50. And we're gonna be talking to Martin KOLLAH, right? I hope I'm calling his name the right way. Martin KOLLAH and Mo Ali. Mo Ali is from the Unity Party wing of the opposition Unity Party wing, Secretary General of the Unity Party. They were tweeting when the program, when the vote was, they were going on. Apparently, everything, the numbers, the war room, whatever we're reporting, everything was going fine. And I said on this network here, the opposition, the government, how can you even get a war room when we don't even know the figure we're operating with? So I see that as a pound war room they were in, because they never had a figure, there was no strategy. They didn't know where vote was coming from. They couldn't have a target point. They can't tell you. I defy any of them. They can't tell you. So apparently they were in a pound war room having a nice time, and the thing, everything was going on. People were manufacturing numbers from whatever ways. This sort of disingenuous on the part of our politicians and their supporters is just killing our country. You went into a process. You never made an argument to know what you need to know. And now the game is over. You want to can't cry, baby cry. We don't get time for that. You need to pull your acts together. And this is a lesson. You need to pull your acts together. Some of you people, you have your people inside Liberia, outside of Liberia, creating unnecessary drama, and you just dive into it. And they were telling you they're having a figure from their war room. Where is the war room? How can you have a war room when you cannot tell me precisely how many persons participated in the ended? But the election commission couldn't even tell anything. You were forcing. You were acting crazy. You were going drunk because everything people thought it was lockdown. So if the only part I can tell me where or not, maybe that is CDC, because they had a strategy, they know what they were doing. You should have had a strategic plan in place, the 5 districts, put boots on the ground, have people there, start yelling, start screaming, start throwing unnecessary tantrum to seek public attention for people to kind of dive into what you're doing. That's not politics. And politics is not just, the social media is used to create a connection with your electorate, with the voters or people. It creates a targeted point. But it's being misapplied by your people, because you're so drawn into who is looking, who is not looking, who is watching you. So you lose focus. You have all of the candidates, for whatever reason, to bunch in one place. You have good numbers that went in. Why you couldn't split? Why other people could not base in the backyard of now Senator elect? Why other people couldn't be other place? Everybody decided to go the way Joseph Boyka went, and you were all in for you. In military, I'm not a military personnel, but this is what the guerrillas, this is what the fighters they do. They create what they call distraction. And 1 or 2 persons will go one place and create some sort of havoc to redirect government forces. But actually, in actuality, they are not there. They are elsewhere. They strategic. They want to get to the garrisons or the base. That's what you should have done. Let's just school you here a little. You act like you don't know, and you don't know nothing. Damn thing you don't know. So you went in there, you started to do joking as if IE and Barrow were going to be playing game, and you don't know what the other people were doing. Instead of having this meeting, KOLLAH go on the other side, Darius Dillon go on the other side of the county, what his name? Ball Charles go on the other side. Old man Boyka, saying he old man, he remain right in foyer. That appears to be his stronghold. And not just go there and go to bed. It's not just go there to go entertain. You have a work to do. He didn't do that. So why would Mo Ali and what his name? KOLLAH going to tell us? He went into a process. He never asked the commission how many persons voted. They dwell on the last one. So apparently since that time, nobody has died. Nobody has left the country. So what you want to argue on? You cannot take a circumstantial evidence to court because when you go before the court of competent jurisdiction, the law is different. So that sort of self-interpretation, it will be missing in action. I am Alfonso Z, and so let's go to our man, T-Max JLATEH. He's already behind the wheel with a 50-50 crew, and I will be right back.
Of the part of the United Party, and we have with us also the Secretary General of the Liberty Party. So, associated in bringing these two guys for some time now. Mo told me they were not speaking, but I told them, say, I'm the Prince of Peace. I will bring peace between two of you people, and I'll bring you people on the same table. I succeeded in doing that. They can look at each other. Mo is here, and Martin True is here. But we have something very important to discuss. We just had elections in Lofa County. Take it or leave it, all of them belong to the opposition unity. So I'm asking, Lofa County by-election, what went wrong? What the next step for the Unity Party as the Unity Party lost? Lofa County that it considers a stronghold. Before we get to that, I got one newspaper, only one newspaper today, the front page. Let me give you the banner headlines on the front page, the front and back pages. The caption, sue for failure to pay rent. Central Bank of Liberia Executive Governor J. Aloysius Talu summoned by debt court. His photo this year. I relinquish my shares. Post and Telecom Minister Cooper Kra clarifies co-ownership of Universal Forestry Corporation. Says he turned eight shares over to his son. Mortgage ticket from mortgage, chicken ticket from chicken mug is not a good turnover. It stay within your authority. Strides in the maritime industry as Liberia registered experiencing quality growth with fleet growth listed on U.S. Coast Guard's list of ownership, 21 flex stake administrations. President George Manawiya renews commitment to standing with the United States in defense of democracy and world peace, upholding special bound and vision. President Weah said in a quote, we look forward to further strengthening that friendship and forging new partnerships in various fields. We will continue to engage the United States, our closest traditional partner, positively in order to build on our existing bilateral framework and cooperate in the defense of democracy in the global fight to sustain international peace and security. Mane said that. His photo is here along with the ambassador of the United States. Decision to quit on opposition alliance cost former VP Joseph Baka's grip on Lofa County stronghold. Baka's gamble. It says, and I quote, as members of the opposition, after all the tests, after all the teasing and robbing salt in the wounds of others, the truth is we need one another. I am not sure there's going to be a CPP reunion holding all things constant, but we must put our egos and sense of entitlement aside and find a way to coordinate the opposition effort. Mariah Yakola, former chief of staff of the Communist political leadership of the Alliance Democratic Alliance National Congress, Alternative National Congress. The back page of the Front page newspaper said caption Liberia Women Forum for awareness calls on public to continue taking COVID-19 vaccine. The Pretoria here, you can buy that. The paper and read it. Today, what went wrong? What's the next step for the UP? And has the UP lost its stronghold in Lofa? Good morning, my friend and brother Mo Ali. Good morning, Mo.
Good morning, Max.
You look reduced.
Better.
You look reduced.
I
never heard that you were sick.
No, I'm not sick.
That the result is pulling you down now.
No, absolutely not. I don't want to get overweight. It's a sickness by itself, and so I exercise a lot. And then I've been having. Obviously, when you are in elections, you have sleepless nights and the tension and the stress that come with it. So you don't expect to go through a grueling.
Was it worth your while?
Absolutely.
It was worth your while.
It was worth the while. And, we appreciate every bit of it. We appreciate the process. We went there, we campaigned with our colleagues, with our partners from other political parties. And we are happy with the campaign that we did. We're happy with the people of Lofa. And it goes without saying, it's an electoral process.
Okay. Mr. Secretary General, you dress? Anyway, you not compete because sometimes Mo is here in his coat suit or pro suit, and you hear your Western sort of attire. That's representation of.
Martin is noted for wearing coat suit.
He came from the kingdom of Delon.
No.
Good morning.
I mean, boy, I know one another. We come way back. So we entered the university together. We graduated together. We are buddies. So you know the way I dress.
And so there were different political parties.
Yes.
At the UL, we were in the same party. As a matter of fact, Martin and I contested in the freshman class.
Yeah.
The Politburo of the Student Unification Party preferred him to contest as president.
Was that process all right? Was it open? Was it clear?
No, the thing is, the Politburo decided
Yes.
who they were going to support. And they decided we support Martin KOLLAH for president, Patrick Mbayo vice president, Muhammad Ali secretary general. So we went and we won the elections. Nito Lai contested against me. He had Dashra Woma and what the other guy, Dele Shubayo contesting against him.
I think the deputy minister for Press Public Affairs to Chawa Tompo to contest.
Yeah, he contested from the same end. And we beat them badly.
Okay. Beat them badly.
So we are long time bullies. Don't worry too much.
I left Lofa. You didn't see me in Lofa. I was in Lofa.
You're there, spirit.
I live in Lofa. I was in Lofa. I voted in Lofa. I will not tell you the place I voted because
You're voting Grand Crew again?
no. For this by-election, I registered in Lofa. So I want to vote in Lofa because I live in Lofa. And I had this wrong impression. This time the Zoes, they could not talk to me. And so as soon as I cast my vote, I left the same day. How I left, did I come by cab? Did I come by did I walk to come? It's another question altogether. You were there, I left you there. What went wrong?
Well, Timax, I do not think anything basically went wrong in Lofa. And you're reading the headline from the paper there.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the local politics has, in every county, has different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Has different dimensions and different ingredients. In Lofa, their politics is kind of sectional. It also has tribal and religious flavor,
Traditional.
the traditional flavor. And so at a particular point in time, a group of people will decide, look, we want the leadership of the county to come from this end. We want the leadership of the county to come from this end. When the Madingo people wanted a senator in 2005, they all galvanized and went behind Fumbakane. They voted him. In that same year, the Lomas wanted a senator. The Galvanized, the Loma faction, they voted for Senator Kupi. Then the Kisi people came out. They said, we too want a senator. They got behind Tembe. And they gave Tembe about 13,000 votes. Yes. And he was on the UP ticket. In fact, that is the only time the Unity Party has won a senatorial race in Lofa County. All of this noise we're making around. In 2014, Steve Zago, the law people say, look, from Vonjama end, okay, we've given Zozo a senator. From the Vonjama end, we want a senator. The UP had a candidate in the race, Francis Kaba, the former Director General from NASCO.
From NASCO, yeah.
Yeah.
He was started our project.
Yeah. And the Loma people galvanized behind Steve Zago from the Liberty Party. They beat us big time. From the Loma belt alone, Zago got around 14,000 votes. Yes. The Bani people have been saying, look, since Kekrok Botota, we've not had a senator. They've got behind Jala. They say, since our mayor is coming forward, we will get behind. Last 2020 vote, Jala got a little bit over 13,000 votes. 10,000 of that 13,000 vote came from KOLLAH alone. And the rest of Lofa gave him 3,000 plus votes. And so they have been consistent with one leadership in our county. So it is understandable that they will galvanize behind their son to vote for him in the way and manner they did. You come to the Loma end. We have 4 candidates for Loma. Sama, the District 12 representative in Mosurado contested there, his Loma. Sumbo Kupi is also Loma from Zozo. Galapa Kotima is Loma from Zozo.
Cyrus.
Momo Cyrus is Loma from Vonjama. That's 4. You can see, even if somebody is getting 1,000 votes, 1,005, 2,000 votes, is cutting into it. Of course, the Madingo people, not only Madingo, but Muslim faction of even the Bani votes, they will galvanize
The
Kwadu Boni belt. They will galvanize behind Maramo Fofana. And so you can see clearly that it had a kind of tribal dimension to it. And now you go to the Kisi belt, they divided the votes. Some Kisi people thought that, look, we want a senator from Lower Lufa since Upper Lufa has a senator. And some Kisi people thought that, look, we will remain committed partisans to the Unity Party. If you also look at the results from a different dimensions, in 2020, the CDC fielded a candidate, George Tembe, who had won in 2014 on the Unity Party's ticket, left and went to the CDC. He had a little over 7,000 votes. Jalak Bato got a little over 13,000 votes. When you have a combination of the 2 votes, it gives you above 21,000. The CPP candidate, Samuka Brownie, got 20,400 plus votes.
Almost a combination of the two. The 10 factor and
the Jala factor,
And the Jala
gave you
factor.
above 21,000 votes. And our CPP candidate got 20,400. Fast forward to 2022, the CDC said we're not fielding a candidate. We will instead put our weight behind somebody who has a proven vote base, vote rich district, Jala. And so one would surmise that, okay, it's the CDC vote combined with the Jala vote, the constant Jala vote. They're not voting on party line. They are voting squarely for their tribe or their kinsmen because they have been yearning for leadership in the county too. The Unity Party, with the support from the other parties, the ALP, the ANC. We had two ANC lawmakers that vigorously campaigning. Yeke KOLLAH was there from the day we entered to the day of the election. Senator Jonathan Subui, they all were there. They almost the entire Liberty Party team, and you have, in fact, we made a very good use of the technical team from the Liberty Party. Every party can boast of something. Liberty Party has one of the best technical teams when it comes to tabulating results and setting up the tally centers.
The structure, yes.
That structure they have is one of the best, and every one of us combined. So the UP got, from the results that were announced, a little over 21,000 votes. So I don't see it as a loss of a stronghold. I just see it that we are in a terrain where people value their own sons and daughters.
Let me stop you. I will get to that. JMB lived. I will say he lived in Lofa the rest of his life. His Benny was born there. He lived in Lofa. I would surmise that therefore that JMB is all quorum with the tradition of Lofa County. I was telling somebody when I left Lofa, look, there are two senators. It's easy to run campaign in Lofa if you're not that greedy, if you're mindful of the traditional of impact on what the electoral process will be. Two senators, you divide that up and down. One will come from up, one will come from down. You represent there are three. Okay, the predominant tribe will take two. Or you can give one to Mandingo, you give one to Kisi, you give one to the Loma. It's Bandi. It's always there. Why you people couldn't talk to why GMP would not talk to how they call him Jala? Jala has come consistently two times as an independent. Why you couldn't talk to Jala? And Jala, matter of fact, came from the side of GMB, from the lower side. Why put this the courtman in the throat? It wasn't because of relationship or because you want to play hardball.
You know, Timas, there are certain things that are discussed behind closed door. I am not at liberty to bring to the fore. Jara was supported by the CDC, and the Elections Commission results say he won the elections. I would like to leave it at that. I know.
So you accept the fact that he won the elections?
I said the Elections Commission said. We will come to that aspect. As to engagement with him, I wouldn't like to go into detail. But you see, the Unity Party operates in such a way that the head alone, or the standard bearer, or the political leader alone does not sit to make a decision for the party. Decisions are made through consultations, and we are not in the county. We depend on people from the county, the leadership, key stakeholders who are members of the party, members of the legislative caucus from the county. They all weigh in to help to make this decision. And so it was a decision based on extensive consultations, and there were attempts to reach out to other people to come on board. You know, as it stands, there are people who, when they have a political ambition or when they think differently, you can do nothing much more to convince them, to dissuade them from the path they want to take. And that's the beauty of our system. You allow people to have their freedom to go there. And so I would like to leave the Jala thing at that.
At that. Martin, you didn't go to Lofa.
Of course, I didn't go to Lofa.
Lofa is Unity Party as it is not a member of the
CPP.
Of the CPP. By its own accord, they left the CPP. So was Benina. You were able to Benina too was campaigning in Lofa. Why do you think went wrong?
So Timas, look, just before I go to what really went wrong, I want to say thank you for having Mo and I. Like we said, we come a long way. We know we started practicing this thing from, like Mo said, from the day we entered in the university. So we've been around for some time. Look, if you ask me, and Mo just said something. Yes, Liberty Party have some technicians. We have people who sit, play, and understand strategy, pool washing, or vote counting and those kind of stuff. So yes, if you ask me for my personal opinion upon LOFA, I think something went wrong because of the level of organization, the level of leadership placed into the election. Election is not just about euphoria, it's not just about momentum. It is a combination of everything. It is about the momentum, the euphoria, the popularity, the money, the strategy to man the polls, count the votes, everything. So yes, and I know Unity Party folks love to hear this one, and my brother Mo will agree with me on this one, that there to some extent, yes. So people, if they have what they have, so people can say, yeah, the elections there, that's my personal feeling, the way the level of organization is and some other stuff, really, it could not add up for them to really grab what they were walking into. The second thing I would like to say is that I see a lot of my colleagues from the Unity Party getting angry when, or especially folks from the ANC and those of us from the Liberty Party. I will not agree with the folks. I believe that there's opposition laws. I'm not happy about Unity Party laws. I will say what I'm supposed to say so that we correct some of these things as opposition. But I don't also expect everybody to sit down with Unity Party and start crying. We're in this marriage together. We say, let's stay Kanwa May. You say, no, you are leaving. You accuse people about fingering document, about cheating. You married to a woman, then your brother accused the woman about stealing the money in your wedding, fingering your wedding, doing it one. You get a woman to work, or she your tapu. You go somewhere, they finish beating you, then you come and say the woman she must sit down with you and then cry with you. I don't see it. So I think my UP friends, that's the second thing I want to say, they should allow us to do a post-analysis of the elections and see where went wrong, so that we, in that analysis, should not just start in LOFA. It's a road to LOFA. The road to LOFA, not LOFA. Because if you just think about LOFA, you miss it. Every day you will be complaining. Every day you will be waiting for after the fight to start coming up with some issues again there and start giving reason why you were defeated, and my brother Mosey, the tradition, the segment, all those kind of stuff. But if you sit down and do an analysis of the road to LOFA, it's going to help you. So folks who are sitting and laughing, or folks, I don't also blame them, because these people, they were craving for you people to be together. You said no. So when you go somewhere and they be you expect people to come sit down with you. So now there were issues. Look, I'm interested in discussing the road to LOFA. What happened next for our UP? Mo can talk about that more. I would like to talk about the opposition community as a whole. So look, the CPP brain, and I agree with Mo, me, very objective. I agree with Mo that LOFA have been very, segmented in terms of voting people, doing this, and then or coming up with their own songs, being selected. But guess what? The CPP brand defy that selection process. They defy all that long historical tradition, and Brennan Samoka won the elections. Brennan Samoka won. Honor the CPP brand. Tim, I have come to your studio here to talk about this particular brand issue, if not 7 or 8 times now. I said CPP, the brand is a method, is built in the minds of our people. It's a philosophy that our people have taken over, and that's why you saw the massive victory in 2020. So if you detach yourself from that brand, I said in the studio, the people will punish you. Nobody listening. I said the people, the voters, they will punish you. If UP have even won this election with small margin, it is still a problem for the Unity Party. And for us in the opposition, I'm adding myself there, because the brand CPP, and when Ambassador Poeka and my brother Mo Adi were passing beyond C4 here, they were testifying and doing some other thing. Tomo Faraday, they were in LOFA country. No, nobody should fool you. This was not a 1-year project. If you listen to Snow on Spoon, Snow said this was a well-planned, well-calculated strategy for a few months. By the time CDC got to know that they were going to deny Bernie Samuka his rights, that we are still up to now saying that election was illegal. CPP is saying it was illegal. This is why we were not saying on Kennedy. By the time they got to know, they put Lofa into motion. The way to distract Unity Party from what that, and they knew that Unity Party going to fall for what that is to bring on what case against Mr. Cummings, and Ambassador Burger was a star witness, and you were testifying here and things, and look out to 3 solid months to change the narrative in Lofa, because they knew that they could not defeat the CPP brain. So the attack was on the brain, destroy the power brain, or allow Unity Party to leave, because they are stronger in one Lofa, and we are going for one Lofa. And then at the end of the day, we will, I mean, and by the time we release them, it will be too late, and they will get 1 week to do pool washing, 1 week to campaign, 1 week. And that brain was affected. Look, Tima, the second thing is that UP, the entire UP was playing. Like I said, I'm with them. This is an opposition loss. If we only look at Lofa and look at what happened in Lofa, we missed the mark. We should look at the road leading to Lofa. And people don't have to agree with what I mean. They don't have to agree to what I say, oh yeah, or all that thing you are talking, we can stay alone. It has been proven in this country, Timas, that when a ruling establishment leaves power, for the people to just vote you back immediately is difficult. Anytime the ruling establishment say the opposition community wasted 12 years of the people left, they're not talking about ANC, they're not talking about Liberty Party or ALP, they're talking about UP. But guess what? We all share that blame and that responsibility over UP, because we're part of the opposition community. So when they were being played, you go play football game, T-Max. The referee blow the whistle and say you win. All the rules apply. Did nobody say, oh, the person here before you were play, you were 35 years old and honor 17. Everybody sit down there and allow the game to go on. And you play, the referee blow, say you, then one match commissioner can say, no, you gotta play the game over. The referee say the game is over. You win your certificate ready. He said play the game over. CPP said, no, we're not playing the game. Unity Party, along with CDC, they allow themselves to be pushed out of the CPP, and they agree. And arrogance and ego sets in. Because Lofa, that our place, once Ambassador Burger go there 1 week, we get win Lofa. No, Timas, it does not work that way. Politics is dynamics, it's changing. You can't just say, because this is the way people used to vote, and how people going to vote. Let me tell you something quickly before I go to my third point quickly. I have a friend who is a lawyer who I missed for some 1 or 2 weeks. When I call, he said, oh, I'm on my way from Lofa. I came to support Momo Sarah. I said, but how did the election was my man this? And it's so you're changing. The young people in the town changing. They get time for that uncle thing again. They are saying the development and what they want. And trust me, Tima, it was just 3 months. Tom Farah went over there, did all kind of things. 3 solid months. Change the whole story. The time they were, there was a whole, listen to Snow or Spoon. There was a well-calculated play. The victory that the Supreme Court gave UP. The testimony of Ambassador Burger as a star with it. More are sitting and testifying.
Okay, let's.
So all those issues, what the CDC, they were not preparing. And the team, I just want to make a tell point quick. And there are some other point. There are real people who want to change we are. They have spoken. I said it before, Lofa County has verified that they are rejecting every other logo, including the CDC logo. You think CDC is stupid? This is why they didn't put their logo on the ballot. The people don't have time for Liberty Party logo or Liberty Party. They don't have time for Unity Party logo or Unity Party. They don't have time for ANC or ANC logo. They don't have time for ALP. that the psychology of the people have been built to CPP as the vehicle to undo we are. So for somebody to keep saying we do CPP, I mean, it will stay alone and we win, knowing the political history of our country, at least over the past 40 years, Tima, I've read the political history. There's no government I've never power the project committee power.
Okay. More so if you look at it, like Martin was saying, nothing has changed politically in Lofa. You were part of the CPP. What strategy did you people use to have that massive
Before
support?
I go to your question, I will respond to Martin point by point, beginning with his last point. If Martin and others truly believe that the psychology of the Liberian people have been built around the CPP, then it should not matter if the Unity Party leaves the CPP or not. It's simple as that.
Why? Why it should matter?
It should not matter because the psychology is built around the CPP. So,
But Unity Party didn't go as CPP. What as Unity Party?
no, I'm saying from his analogy, from a statement, that the psychology of the Liberian people is not around any other political party logo or emblem. Again, it's not around CDC, is not around UP, is not around Liberty Party, right? It's built around the brand CPP. So I'm saying then it should not matter. The ANC is there. The Martin KOLLAH Musa ability fashion is there. They can take other parties and bring them on board and carry the CPP brand. Since the psychology of the people is built around it, we'll be happy for them. But I'll also say this. The Unity Party.
You seem entrenched that the Unity Party can go along. It doesn't need
No, I'm not saying I seem entrenched. I'm only saying since the psychology is built around the CPP, they can galvanize around it. It also means that they have an easy sale. They have easy selling. They have their marketing. Let me come to the other
point. It is
point.
considered the totality of the constituent.
No, but in this case, no.
no.
In this case, the UP does not matter. They brand the UP. Martin KOLLAH, the ANC people, and all other people have built within their mindset, and they've come to believe that the Unity Party pillaged the resources of this country for 12 years.
No,
And it makes you were talking for minutes. I didn't interrupt.
sorry.
And it makes it very difficult to even be in a collaboration with people who think that what we did 12 years in this country was nothing. They have developed the mindset of the sedition. Besides the other thing, there were many factors, issues of trust that made the UP to leave the CPP. And I will say this for the record. The Unity Party does not regret withdrawing from the CPP. We took a conscious decision. We went into the CPP. We helped to establish the CPP not as a noisy hub. We thought that we were building a coalition where people will come up to simple understanding. It came a time in the CPP, we were attacking each other more than attacking the ills in the society. And we were fighting like cats and dogs, and we let everything to go undone.
Who started that fight?
What?
Who started that fight?
Who started
How
that
did that
fight?
fight come about?
Timax.
When you were fighting like cats and dogs.
Timax. The first thing is we talk about going to primaries and everything. Everybody say, oh, UP feel entitled and this and that. I don't want to go into that. I also want to come to this court issue. When people sit and begin to cry, oh, Joseph Boakai was a star witness and this and that, the Unity Party did not carry you to court. On the contrary, it was the Liberty Party and the ANC that took the UP and the ALP to court and said the UP should be effectively banned from politics in this country.
How did that happen?
Tell you how.
How did that happen?
Political parties,
The Unity Party, the ANC and the Liberia Party took Unity Party and ALP to court.
of course, when they went to NEC and said that the UP should be banned from fielding candidates in elections until 6 months after 2023, that is asking for an effective ban of the party.
No, that's I want us to have that correction. Who took court? What are you talking about? You're talking about in the essence of the exit clause. The exit clause detained. We were defined.
Is that not going to court?
No.
Is that not going to court?
It was when they were in court already. You took them.
No. I'll land on my point. Political parties were established for the purpose of contesting or participating in elections. When somebody who is supposed to be your partner or who you were in partnership with look at you and tell you, say, we're going to court, we make sure, and they were boasting of it. Martin KOLLAH and most
So they went to court on tampering with the what they call the framework document that led them to court.
They will go to court and say, on radio stations, on this your radio station, on Spoon FM, we will make sure that the Unity Party will not be candidate in election. It's like telling the public we will make sure that the Unity Party is effectively banned. And then you come back, you speak with the other side.
Because the Unity Party was, I keep believing was and still is a member of the CPP.
We're not.
So let's take our fight.
We're not.
Let's take our break, and when we come back, we go to the other aspect of the results coming from Lofa County.
Yeah, I would like to just say one of them.
They have done it.
What the excitement! Share the good news now.
My picking child of Côte d'Ivoire, they were
Okay, let me just get this out of volume up here. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPRTV. That's the live interview this morning inside Liberia. The folks are on break, and I want to come back. We're going to switch control right over to it. This is how. Let me get this volume up here to make sure that. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Interestingly, this is how our politicians, this is how they have their discourse. They are not thinking, they are not prepared, they are unwilling to strategize to see what can be faced. They stayed arguing, some being so very disingenuous. I wanted to see how this is going to play out, how it's going to end. Mo Ali cannot admit, cannot concede, and then he said, according to the Election Commission. I don't know what that is. There's any other institutions besides the Election Commission to validate or certify the results of the election. But what is eye-catching is he perfectly, squarely, plainly outlined, giving justification why CDC won, taking us way back as, who do you want? Mr. President, yeah, your people. Mr. People, yeah, is your president. You remember KBK, Kakura Biboto, former later the chairperson, or former national chairman of the National Democratic Party of Liberia, then Samuel Doe. That's the way he used to campaign. He and the late Edward Komosako. Mr. People, your president. Mr. President, your people. He outlined chronically in a very specific way to lay the basis why CDC won. How LOFA is being segmented and their voting history. It's not one instance he cited, that's not two, that's not three, but he laid it out step by step. Yet, he says that that's the according to the Election Commission. So T-Max, you asking to do a follow-up. According to the Election Commission, what do you say? Do you accept this? And he's telling us they are calling to their people on the ground. So what is the national's own investigation with respect to what happens and what were their own paid for into the process that get us to be where we are? That should be the question he should be answering. So let's go back to the team. They are right there in Liberia, T-Max and Mo Ali and Martin KOLLAH of the Liberty parties. There's two oppositions. Ask them when last they talked to one another. I am Alfonso Zian, so let's go back to T-Max and JLATEH inside Liberia.
Their Liberty Party whipped us mercilessly in 2014 in the senatorial election. Steve Zago got elected. What happened in the presidential election in 2017? We got 87% of Lofa County. In 2005, from Joseph Boakai hometown, Eugene Falapaka, he knows the story. We made Eugene Falapaka prominent in politics at the youth. We made him to head our tendency, and he won the SUC chairmanship. 2 times we campaigned against him in FOIA. He won us. What happened in presidential elections? So those are totally different scenarios. The man who is proclaimed by NEC to be the winner does not have a political party brand. He has a tribal brand, which is tribal people follow. That is absolutely different when it comes to presidential elections. It's the same thing with any other county. We saw in Grand Basso and the Basso people from Monserrato Street to River says consistently the voter comes to the Bromskin. It didn't matter what UP went there and said. It didn't matter what CPP or CDC went there and said. Did that mean that all the people who the late Charles Bromskin put their hands up for legislative election in Grand Basso won? No, they didn't. They didn't win. So these are totally 2 different.
So in other words, the CPP doesn't matter.
In these elections in Lofa County, it was not about political brand. It was about the people of Lofa choosing one amongst their own children to represent them at the Senate. It was the same scenario.
So I will come back to that. I will come back to you. I want the callers to participate in this. The program is being relayed by our sister radio station, Liberia Public Radio and Liberia Public TV, all the way in the United States. So the numbers to call 07777 live from 5050 on Sky. 107 better stay call us on 077221223. The numbers are in our Facebook page, Sky Communications Liberia. Let's go to the line.
Just bear with us. I saw the internet system is restored in Liberia. We will go back to the folks that that's a proper internet service in Liberia. I saw the network is restored. We're going to go back to them. So what is the basis of this argument? And I think one of our followers here at Matter, if I were really close to you, I just want to take you and throw you on my back, hopefully your husband then punch me out. But that's a very strategic question. What's the way forward? They are unwilling to discuss that.
Talk to our very first caller. Good morning.
Let's go back to the line, guys. Okay. Hopefully, the lines it's on the internet.
Yeah, money was given for poor workers, and they went and they did not do well. In a total letter, what will he do next year? He got to look at it. I think it's a city man. We should give that money to the people. Everyone wins is a local training. They not do good for on the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kimmy. Don't get bell now.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Ali Ukiadi of the ANC.
Ali Ukiadi, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Steve. You know, I listened to Mo Ali when he said the Lufians were choosing among their children. But was it when Councillor Down won, you realized that you were choosing among the children when Joe Burger went there and started on one of the child? It's that uncle. Is that how people develop? Is that how the country will grow? You engage the people consistently, and this arrogance on the part of the Unity Party keep putting in any situation they can't handle. It's unfortunate. These people should reduce the arrogance. Nobody owes Unity Party leadership. We follow people who lead in our interests.
Thank you very much. 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 Let's get to this. I will come to you.
If I could just respond to Ali Ukiadi quickly.
No, there'll be time that you respond.
I just wanted to just say something quickly. We went more at the end on the whole Lofa County choosing their son. Look, so I agree with more at the Lofa County choose their sons then, and they choose for Apaka even when they voted for Apaka. They choose also Zago even when they voted for Apaka. So it means that they will choose another person, probably Jala at the time he contested against Honorable Samoka. But I am saying, and he was proving that the CPP broke that pattern. It broke that pattern because Honorable Samoka won. He more can deny that. The neck was clear that Honorable Samoka won. The numbers are there. The data are there. I am saying the departure from the brain was one of the one reasons. We told people to code because we all agree. We let Mose, we put ourselves in one cage. We say we not move. There was a provision 8.5.2 that we all agreed to until the Supreme Court said no.
You know, Tima,
this is not. Well, we were talking
because I think we are drifting.
Yeah,
let's.
If we want to discuss,
I will have another time. Wait a minute. Let me
find time to talk about.
The next time I'll call two of you people is to be jointly strategizing. And yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
But this is our brother, the Nigerian brother, Willas, calling from Germany.
Willas, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, Willas.
Good morning, Mo Ali and good morning, Mo Ali and Martin Colley. Dimas, when you talk about the problem about the politics there, let's look at what about the politics in CPP. Let's look at what Edwin Snow said. Edwin Snow said that after the election of Darrell Dillon, anybody think after the election of Darrell Dillon, when Darrell Dillon won the Mosharado County, anybody think that he can beat George Weah, an incumbent president like George Weah? Anybody think that he can beat it? So started thinking that this is his turn. He must lead the CPP ticket. That is why he left there, to avoid the noise that is coming. So when you check now, since the Darrell Dillon, JMB, Mo Ali, Yomble Kanga, and Costa, Uri left the CPP. You know that CPP is a dead bag now. It's a complete dead bag. So you people should know the face of the CPP and know who's supposed to lead it to avoid this internal wrangling and problem. And again, if you remember how the problem started in CPP, it started from ANC introduced it through the VPS. And they know rightly the person who's supposed to hold the ticket, but they introduced the VPS. They know it started. And again, this man, JMB donated a ferry boat to one of the county in your place there. Costa posted it. These people started attacking the political leader from different places. In the same political marriage you people have, they started attacking the man. We called them, this is not good. Stop. So the problem started with ANC since Costa started become popular and COP, and they want to destroy it. They want to.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Political leader too.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me put this caller through. Pony the irresistible. Good morning, Pony.
Good morning, Mr. JLATEH.
Good morning, my brother. How you coming on?
I want to thank you, my kids, man, and I'm very happy and honored to be on your network this morning. I'd like to say a pleasant morning to Mo and Mountain.
Go ahead.
Yeah, morning, Pony.
I want to be brutally frank this morning. The Unity Party took an alarming political risk. Lofa have maintained that tradition. It's one Oppo, one Lofa. I don't know on what basis, on what mechanism you used to select a Loma when you had 3 Loma already there. That was a flaw missing, big time flaws. It shouldn't have. Secondly, it's out of upper or lower, like you said, T-Max. So I would like to ask more. I'm kind of a shock. You went to a major election that may likely be the only election to the 2023 election. You took Brandon Samoka won simply because you have a TC and you have a Loma Steve Zago. This time around, you want to have 2 Loma. It's quite unfortunate. Secondly, you want the other region to not be represented. That was a flaw. Lastly, I'd like to say to Manti, even had the CPP gone there in similar fashion, taking 1 Loma when you have 4 Loma and you have a Loma senator, they were still with them. Ko Bangalu was the most appropriate person. Jala benefited because he was the only Bandi. Had you had Ko Bangalu, he and Jala were battled for the vote among the Bandi ethnic tribe. And then Ko Bangalu were benefited from quite body because Ko Bangalu gets both Bandi and Mandingo. So Ko Bangalu were paid off for minimal candidate in that election. But the Unit Party blundered and they took a political risk. However, in this election, it's getting tough in our country. Even President Wida, Monserrate lost 2019, he lost 2020. In Lofa, the CDC were very tactical. Had they placed a candidate with the banner CDC, they were being with. So they went, Chimney Manuel called match politics. That was a squad match politics. They put the match on Jala and they're pushing as a. It's still not sufficient yet.
Are you saying, Puni, are you saying to me that the CPP brand, the CDC brand is infectious?
They have never won. Since 2005, they have never won a country, a representative, or senatorial. Can you imagine Jala just joined the CDC? Had he gone on the CDC, who might not know the consequences, had he gone on the CDC brand?
Thank you very much.
It might be catastrophic for them.
Thank you very much.
And the blunder in that election this time.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number 0777 107 live from 50 to 50 in the sky. 107. I'll get back to you. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Tima.
Good morning, my brother.
To the Council of Liberia. My name is Abraham, political commodity circle, and I call from the most of the article this morning. Tima, thank you for inviting our 2 brilliant young men into the medical inquiry and dialogue. More on you. Basically, I think Lofa County are pointing the hand of the corridor for the democratic change. There's no more strong for Imabwaka. Because the CPP.
Which is like, wait. Let me correct from Webu Avenue. That CDC won. CDC didn't win. The guy who won there didn't go and see. He was not CDC senator. No, no problem. That's the fact I'm telling you before you heard the result. Jala was not sedition. Get it clear.
Jala was declared as independent candidate. He supported Jala in election. We have one of the on the angle of the CDC.
My man, I'm not even going there. Tomorrow for CDC, tomorrow for Ryan, in Monserrate, they got flocked in Monserrate. All of them knew that if you carry that CPP brand, the CDC brand, it would be catastrophic. So that was a clever attack. But let me inform you, because I got a lot of people that Jala did not run as CDC candidate. Thank you very much.
I agree with you.
Call me on that number 0777 107. You be live from 50 in the sky. 107. Let's go back to line 4. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, Tima.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Momo Saki. I'm calling from Minnesota. Tima, I think it's not time for Unity Party to know that election is not about voting for someone, the person come to power, then a wife and children, Raguka, then you have vote for them, your life continue to be miserable. More than in Lofa, before and he went Lofa during the campaign, he saw the president of Lofa and in the past LOFA before. Tima, I mean, as a vice president, you rule a country for 12 years. In your home time, you have a parliament who live in a zinc shop.
But I'm going there, Mama, I'm going there. I don't want you to go there. I want you to tell me what going. I mean, they didn't vote for CDC because CDC pay houses for everybody. No,
it's not for everybody. Don't face the fact. Councillor Jai ran 2020 election. He had 300 voting for you. 300 votes. Look at the past election. The go election, he got 5,000. It's not because he was from Foya. It was because some of the white, he necessarily never put out a candidate. It was because some of the West CDC did. When Moali never campaigning, they left Moali never in the night. When we went Foya, it was CDC who put the light. When you used to enter Foya before, the doors can won't kill you. But when Moali entered Foya, doing a campaign, he drive on a small quota. It was not done.
The quota was put up by CDC or put up by the government.
By the CDC force. You may say not government, but someone from CDC did. It was two Thomas Fala. Now the town hall they had in Foya, Tabatira or town hall. That town hall built by the Foya citizen. The new one that CDC is building, or modern town hall you can compare with any town hall around.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In Minnesota, thank you very much for that number 0777 live from 50 on Sky 107. Let's go back to line 2, the last caller, and be right back.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Kurma, and I joined the conversation from Montana Video. And we say thank you for bringing two decent characters and two best brains into the studio this morning. Paul Martin and Mo Ali. Now, Kurma, listen to you carefully. The first thing I have concern to Mo Ali quickly.
We listen to you. Go ahead. He's gone, unfortunately. Can I take one more caller? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Munir Kishan calling from New Jersey. And I just want to say thanks for the show I've been following, and thanks to Martin and Mo, to Petra. And my contribution is I think Mangaliko was the best option. But another thing, I think CPP was the way forward. Because of the breakup of CPP, it was not an easy win was not an easy thing. And then you cannot go into an election with no pool washer. I think that was the problem, because even if you were cheated, you have no clue or you have no document to even fight. So just let it go. You got to put the way forward how to get out of it. The CPP is out, ANC and Liberty Party will continue. If you guys want to come back, you can go ahead and come. Listen, Liberians are smart people. The writing is on the wall. So you guys move on, and 2023 will decide.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I got a lot. I can't go up to 12 o'clock, so I want us to be very, very brief. And let me exhaust me before you and they may start the first caller talked about this thing has been going viral now in Monrovia concerning this. They push. I want you to tell me honestly, like I'm looking at you in the face. You never lied to me. I don't think today you were disappointed to lie to me. What is this thing about $10,500 set aside by you and the leadership of the United Party to be used for pool watcher was squandered?
The thing is totally false. Let me tell you, when you go into elections, and Martin being there, he handled pool washers before. If they get our money, now Gromo.
What is it? The guy didn't get their money, so
no, that's not true.
The police stations were not.
No, that is absolutely not true. Look, a budget was made $9,000 for pool washers, and the party gave $10,500.
It's 90,000.
No.
Oh, it's part of the
9,000 total. The way they did their calculation, and we give them 10,500.
Okay.
And I can assure you, every single pool washer has been paid. It was
the cosmetic of $1,500.
Huh?
The cosmetic of $1,500.
T-Max, I have not received any report whatsoever from the team that was heading the pool washer that the candidate would take money intended to benefit his campaign. That information is totally wrong. In fact, it was in Morovia. The first person I heard that information from was a seditious who said, "Oh, the thing I make it, your candidate, they took some money." No, that's not true. And that I don't like to delve into information that are not true. It's completely false.
What next? You lost Lofa. What next?
So, T-Max, first thing, we did not lose Lofa.
You lost Lofa?
No. We did not lose.
The result showed you lost Lofa.
Absolutely not. When you say lose the place, let's wait. 2023 is days away, months away.
So in other words, you are admitting to me that this by-election you lost to Jala.
T-Max,
we don't have to wait for them.
You said we lost Lofa. I said wait for 2023. Now coming to the by-election, I'll tell you this. We had a technical team on the ground that have analyzed all of the data, all of the tally sheets. As I'm sitting here,
what did you get out? What did you get out?
I haven't seen it. That was why I'm coming to. As I'm sitting here, I'm supposed to be in a meeting right at the party headquarters. They are coming to present all of the facts, all of the analysis surrounding the data. Whatever that will show, whatever the results will be, we preempt or we predict the reaction of the Unity Party and the people who help us in the campaign. So for now, I can tell you this person won. And before the NEC came up with the result, we issue a statement. I know many of our supporters did not like the statement. They say it was weak.
It was weak. Somebody told me it was weak.
But it is not a weak statement. It was a very strong statement. We said when the election results are credible, the Unity Party will accept. And any election you go to and the results are credible, whether they whip you or not, when they whip you in a credible election, you go, you sit down your lake or no, you cry, you finish, you wipe your tail, you go back. So once the results are credible, we will accept. If they are not credible, we will take legal action. That is what
the point is. JMB said before the elections were held in Lofa, the National Elections Commission is not credible. It's not patriotic. Knowing that one National Elections Commission is, why did you go to that contestation?
Even if you do not go there, and people go and have elections, the result come out. It's going to happen. Look, 2011, the CDC said, "Oh, the elections will be fraud and this and that," and we went to the second round, and everybody accepted the result. But the Elections Commission of nowadays has proven that they are totally not credible. Besides not being credible, but they have also proven that they cannot handle any major elections. This is one country.
They handled that in 2020, right? You didn't find anything wrong with that.
There were things wrong. Let me tell you something. There were places where results were fraud, and in fact, they had to go months in the instance of Cape Mount, in the instance of Grand Cru, in the instance of River Sears, even in the case of Bapolo, in the case of Nimba. If you did this same thing to a presidential election, there will be trouble. Look at what happened. They posted results. I highlighted them. I posted them on my page. Some of the results have what his name? Jala names appearing 3 times. Jala as candidate of APT, Jala as an independent candidate in 2020, Jala as an independent candidate in 2022. There are Maremu Fofana as candidate of ALCOP in 2020.
In these elections?
T-Max, check it up.
Okay.
It's right there. I will show everything to you. They posted them on the website as the election results. More than that, there are instances where they posted result where they multiply the results by 2. And in that case, when we raised the alarm, they shut down their website. The next day, they came up with a statement that there were attempts to hack the NEC website. They have not proven credibility in this case. That is the reason why we say our technical team has been.
So likely will we go to court?
I cannot make any prediction now. I say it will be based
If it
on
doesn't seem
what
to be
our-
credible,
exactly.
we'll go to court.
We will decide the appropriate means with advice from our legal team. But when we highlighted all of these things, NEC has now proven credibility. And what they did with Lufa, If you did that with a presidential election, you'd be inviting chaos into the country. We all saw why Frumoya had to resign just by sending one number to the party that that number does not belong to. NEC has done this. That Lofa County we're talking about. But what if they had done that for a presidential election?
Okay, let me take my last break here. When we come back, we'll go straight to you were close. Back straight to Studio 8 or Princess to get me comments from the social media users.
They have done it again.
What an excitement. Share the good news now.
My picking child of Cote d'Ivoire yesterday, and he still.
Okay. What an interesting conversation here this morning. It's 7:40. Oh, my goodness. I'm kind of a little bit confused the nature of this conversation, how it's going, and how it's been executed by the guests. Just trying to mutter it here, going back and forth, stepping on their own legs. We're waiting to soon to come back. We will be joining in while the commercials is on, but I want to also keep you to speed. I listened to Mo and KOLLAH. It is glaring that this union has been over a long time. It came out of their own. Nobody wants to drink a toxic water. You saw what happened for those of you in the U.S. The flame situations in Michigan. When the water is poison, you can't do any other thing. There's no scientist that you can call to bleach that person out of the water. We heard that it was received, it was accommodated, and we're still seeing it happening, being repeated over and over. The water, in their own words, said the water is being poisoned. So why are they wasting our time? The ANC folks, the Unity Party folks insulting ANC giving back. So where is the political consolidation that these people here? Nobody, you can have tons of talk shows and bring all of them in. They will not settle the score simply because the water is being poisoned. And when the water is poisoned, who drinks it, you're seeking for you're going to die. But what is confusing and very much interesting, the argument of Mo Ali here, when you outline and give justification of the win of the CDC, that the Lofa voter they voted for their own son. Why should you be saying that? Nobody came from Bon County. Nobody came from Grand Gide, my home. Nobody came from Maryland. Nobody came from Sino. It is also the Lothians. And in your own words, they voted for their son. And you outline the reasons why the vote took place, starting as way back from NDPL. Some of those people that were voted and how the votes were accumulated to get us to this point. Yeah, I understand the issue with the NEC, the screw up, but this is why you politicians, you are not smart. You guys behaving like toddlers, babies wearing diapers. You understand? You think you're a politician. Let me go back to T-Mac, and I'm going to do the roundup before we sign out. But join me in this afternoon, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12-1 Councillor 12-1 Gonglo took the broom from Liberia to the USA to come and sweep corruption. He and I, with the analysts and pundits of the Liberia Public Radio, we're going to square out here. Let's go to Princess in Liberia for the Facebook's reactions. I'm Alfonso Zienso.
He will lose more votes
Lofians have proven to us that Joe and his flunkies have nothing to benefit Lofa County. We consider this victory to be pre-victory for 2023. Ernest Johnson writes, CDC did not feed any candidates in Lofa, so you guys must stop the tactics of hiding behind a popular candidate. Daniel Wallo writes, good morning, Sky. Good morning to my peace-loving people of Bella Yala, Bapulu County. T-Max, let me use this medium to appreciate all sons and daughters of Lofa County for exercising their democratic right to ballot box. T-Max, those guys have nothing to tell the Liberian people. Let them go to the court if they feel they were cheated in their so-called stronghold. Focus Mindset writes, More, you have no integrity to speak here on Lofa election. Jimmy Dan writes, but you guys were not saying what you are now saying, Mo. You guys were saying the Lofa people were vexed with CDC. Therefore, any candidate CDC supports, that candidate will lose the election. But CDC openly supported Councillor Jala and he won. Ruth Roberts Spengba writes, integrity. What happened to our generation that even our own business, we still think about stealing from it? Nora Hopes writes that they could not talk to him because they wanted free ride with everything. Nonsense. And she continues, you will learn the hard way. Jimmy Dan writes, my man, accept the results and congratulate Councillor Jala. Michael E. Flomo Sr. writes, Yeka Una went to Lofa to showcase his ignorance, but was strongly resisted by the peace-loving people of Lofa. Joseph Gengon writes, UP messed up big time. You wasted all your time in court with Cummings while your friends were campaigning. Ashike Hall writes, More Ali Unity Party time finish for leadership in this country, so you need to find a different place now. Valentino Sabias writes, Mo doesn't want to admit that UP messed up, talking about tribal voting. Josh L. Lobo writes, the Unity Party performed better than CPP did in Lofa. Saucy D's writes, division in the opposition will cause serious problem for the opposition. Charles CV writes, Martin, it is not always difficult for a powerful shift. He said, in Ghana, Nigeria, and USA, we observe power shifting between two main political rivals. It is also possible based on performance of the sitting government. Ruth Abbas-Pemba writes, Martin said, KOLLAH, you are making a lot of sense for me till I have nothing to write but just listening to you, my brother. Lami Corner writes, Cummings' unwillingness to recognize or work with JNB destroyed the CPP. I personally shared my idea with Cummings, but he couldn't listen. Ruth Abbas-Pemba writes, misunderstanding right there again. You continue to act in favor of CDC because some people are allegedly getting their daily bread from them. Ziawan Dennis writes, morning T-Max, in the 50-50, CPP couldn't have won this election in Lofa County because ANC had no contribution in Lofa. The only mistake Unity Party made was not protecting their vote. Jimmy Dan writes, the Omen Boyka spent for the 2 years in government and 12 years as vice president under the Unity Party, who was funded in Lofa. Yet no development. The Unity Party-led Lofa is looking like a big village in Liberia without roads. Damn, Boyka is mean. See how that small boy Tifa and others disgrace him in Lofa. Lami Connor writes, Tifa was defeated in Foya when he carried on his development. So it was for a lower and upper Lofa and also sectional and tribal level. Let me now switch to our sister radio and TV station, the Liberia Public Radio. James Coyan, poor analysis, Martin. G. Isaac Vigua writes, Martin KOLLAH, you are making sense. And he continues, you should be ashamed. That's another one. You should be ashamed. You will never become representative come 2023. Josiah Smith writes, hope the ANC folks will help Martin run his campaign in District number 6 come 2023. Savia Molba writes, good morning 50-50. The defeat of Unity Party candidates in Lofa is a warning or lesson that we should learn from. If we're not careful, it will be repeated. in the presidential election come 2023. And Josiah Smith, Martin, you should be worried about the election come 2023, my dear brother. You still with the CPP, so concentrate on your campaign edition number 6. James Conyer writes, you are missing the point, Mo Ali. Martha Josh writes, what's the way forward? Daniel Lava writes, you guys are a group of unserious people. Morning Kenshin writes, honesty is a key in any collaboration. And he or she continues, the election is over. And this final one, Josiah Smith, how can you so-called educated people in the CPP be this unserious, disorganized, unprepared, but want to take state power? And that's all for now, Timas.
Thank you very much, Princess, for the comments. The comments you heard, not coming from Sky, but rather coming from our social media users. My time is up. Gentlemen, briefly, I want to just few 1 minute each to have your closing statement, because my next program is coming up.
Okay, so Timax, I will respond to 2 persons quickly. Aliyu Kiadi, you know, when I talked about the mindset of majority of the ANC people, it's just something that Aliyu Kiadi displays on the show he called. You know, we're in a collaboration with people who think that the Unity Party is very arrogant because of the vigorous manner in which we forward our points true or make our claim to things. They also think that we feel entitled. Now, when you're in a collaboration with people who see you as being arrogant, who see you as being entitled and all those kind of things, they are not going to support you. These are the people who perpetuate the Unity Party did nothing in 12 years. And so we should just go to a collaboration and support them, because we don't deserve anything when we have got the experience, when we have a track record of taking this country from backwardness, from the arches of destruction to where it is today, until the CDC came and it is taking the backward. When you're in collaboration with people who think like that, you don't jive. You are incompatible. You can't be in a collaboration like that. And you know, I'm happy Munir Kishen called. This is one of the guys, a supporter of the ANC, who will sit on his show every night and discusses nothing. He doesn't discuss the government. He doesn't discuss the ills in the society, but will denigrate Joseph Boakai from the beginning to the end. And these are the staunch supporters who are members of the ANC Global. When these kind of people are there, they are very toxic and they are listened to. And then you say, they'll be in a collaboration. How are you going to be in a collaboration when you are tearing each other down instead of combining your forces to work together? And so again, to Lofa County, this is not a loss to the Unity Party. As a matter of fact, we are going to be even stronger in Lofa County and Liberia entirely. Thank you.
So look, Timas, firstly, let me say, look, personally, I'm not worried about my election, because whatever the result will be, it will be. At the end of the day, it is about CPP, it is about the Liberian people interest, it is about removing President Weah that I'm more worried about. So that's the message I want to send across. But look, yes, I agree. Look, the opposition community, this election impacted all of us. If some people don't know it, I know that. So I know that there are some fanatics in the Unity Party, like the Nigerian guy who say, we just should have crowned Joseph Boakai. I have said, if anybody have won the primary, I will support it. I will not support black vote. That's all. So, and before going for the primary, I made it very clear I was supporting Mr. Cummings. So, beyond that, look, I just wanted to remind Mo and all the Unity Party people, since 2017, Unity Party have put up candidates all around, except for Brandon Samuka, Honorable Samuka, under the CPP brain. All the candidates that Unity Party put up and we supported it, they lost. I remember Josephine Francis. I remember, in my own sister, Cordino Kura I'm in a Topa. So all those people lost because it is a tendency of the Liberian people that after you just leave power, they don't give it back to you easily. Unity Party should understand that they were benefiting from the brain that is called the CPP. Because we were CPP, there were better organization, there were better pool washing. So the local results can tell you that it has impacted. If Unity Party will not acknowledge that, fine. It has impacted a more anything that look that they are okay, fine. But I want to close by congratulating Councillor Jaya. We in the opposition.
You congratulate him.
Of course. But if I mean,
so all the time the UP won the election, it was about the CPP.
Say after 2017. You have put a candidate.
How many elections?
Thank you. I mean, the difference about
we should organize a debate around that.
No, wait a minute. What I intend to do next time, I'll bring two of you people. Only two of you people. I'll forget about your chairperson, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'll be asking the question, why they say that?
So let's talk about the CPP first.
We'll talk about the CPP. We'll talk about the CPP, then. Wait a minute. I'm running the show.
Okay,
I will call you people. I will tell you why I'm calling you. Why they say that people, CDC can come straight to say, I am CDC.
No, they won't. The people reject that brand.
No, I don't know. I don't know what that they reject that brand. Thank you very much for showing up. At least I succeeded. I brought Mo Ali. So go and give me the result whenever there's any discrepancy. But I know we come to the end of this edition of the
Oh my goodness, how ridiculous our politicians are. What? These people, they are not willing to learn the high core lesson. And that's exactly that is being displayed. Lack of political tolerance, their inability to learn from mistake and position themselves for a better fight. That's all about it. And some of us raised this a long ahead of time when this so-called thing called collaboration, it wasn't going to hold because people were in it for themselves, what they think or what they hope to achieve if this collaboration holds. And I said this on this network over and over. The liberal progressive Samson Brown Toll, who is a liberty partisan wing, claimed to be a liberty partisan wing of the U.S. He was in denial. Here we are. There was no long-term, short-term strategy for the survival of what they were putting together as collaboration. People left their baggages to the doorstep and entered the conference room, wore wetsuit as if they were honest. They wasn't honest at all. These are the folks. One day, get hand in his pocket. I don't know where he was reaching out for it, smiling, shirt is out. The other guy in the brown suit, the other lady there in the black and white suit, comments on the other side. And then we'll go down the record, the past history, the comments of these people. I'm not sure when this picture actually, but the three put together, put one guy on the side. You are a foreigner, you are a stranger, you are a new person. It is not your time, it is our time. Entitlement in there's no anything that call entitlement in politics. These three grown-up men, adults, were unable to sort out the differences. They didn't empty all on the table when they were going for this conversation. They were unable to contain people that support them. The faces of their party, their institution, is said was toxic as well. They began to slouch, they began to bash, they began to tear down one another. They incited falsehood, mischief, subliminal messages, innuendos, as if they see themselves as a dominance and they have this whole thing at their own, in their control. And the destruction took place. Joseph Boyka, the other statesman, Nyombi Kanga Lawrence, Benena Uri, Alexander Benedict Cummings, they were unable to recalibrate, to say, wait a minute, let's take a break. Let's have a second thought. We need to fix up stuff here. Something is not going right. But they were listening to other people thousands of miles away who were remotely conducting the affairs of political parties. and they hurriedly, quickly, overnight without strategy and become more repetitive every day, every day. Politics is all about strategies. Set goals that are attainable. It's not how long you can, it's not how much you can talk, it's not how long you meant words together, it's not how long, it's not how much in as much you will want to manipulate, but you got to be strategic. You might have a set goal. That was lacking. All their talk show hosts, all their podcasts, people, when they go on live, they don't tell us how their leader want to do it differently than the CDC. No. Unity Party people go are Cummings. Cummings people go are Unity Party. This one is a black money mailer. But yet and still, the guy who is a black money mailer or who is a black who's a scam, the scam man facilitated your campaign. That's the disingenuousness of these politicians. You want to be like a clean person. That's what they're talking. Mo Ali, you're telling me that the Lofa people voted the way they voted. And that seems to be the history of the Lofians. They vote on this sectional line. And there are people award these candidates, these people that participated because other people felt they have not been part of the system. And then you come back, they bring in data. What is the data? What do you have? You as the executive, you should provide the basis of these people that you have deployed or that you have there. You should give us the basis. You don't have no numbers. I think KOLLAH is being a little bit honest. We saw what happens, the CPP in the last 2017, the momentum. But people being so greedy, acting like a cockroach because they want to go in the barrel to drink the oil until they can know that they get the oil, they get a taste of what was cooked. And the self-destruction, they decided to pull the plug. They decided to poison the water. And people start drinking icy water, taking it to be like a cold drink. And people began to develop artificial political diarrhea. And now it is catching up with them. You found a place to sit down. You start wasting our time. And you, the supporters, you are the chief facilitator of the behavior of these bad politicians. In as much you support, you need to tell them to stop. I am Alfonso Z, and so I will be back here this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Broom Liberia is in America. We're going to talk about that broom and what it does. Thank you and have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.
Mama, you are